around Sarah as she stood on the edge of the cliff, the vast expanse of the ocean below reflecting the chaos in her heart. In that moment, she felt the weight of every loss, every failure pressing down on her shoulders. But deep within, a spark of defiance flickered, a whisper that maybe, just maybe, she could rewrite her story. Sarah Thompson was the kind of woman who seemed to have it all. At 35, she was a celebrated architect, her designs lauded for their innovation and elegance. Her husband Mark was her rock, a kind-hearted teacher who balanced her ambition with his quiet strength. Their daughter, Lily, was the light of their lives, a bubbly 6-year-old with a knack for turning even the gloomiest days into adventures. Their home was a sanctuary, a place where laughter echoed through the halls and love was woven into every corner. But life has a way of unraveling even the most carefully constructed plans. The economic recession hit like a tidal wave, and Sarah's firm was among the first to feel its impact. Projects were canceled overnight, and the once bustling office grew eerily quiet. Layoffs followed, and Sarah found herself clinging to her job by a thread. The stress seeped into her home life, and the once easy conversations with Mark became strained, their words tinged with frustration and fear. Then came the blow that shattered everything. Mark was diagnosed with a terminal illness, and suddenly, the world Sarah had built began to crumble. The medical bills piled up, and Sarah's focus shifted entirely to his care. She missed deadlines, skipped meetings, and eventually lost her job. The home that had once been filled with laughter now echoed with the sounds of whispered prayers and stifled tears. Mark's passing left Sarah adrift in a sea of grief. She struggled to hold herself together for Lily, but the weight of her loss was suffocating. The bank foreclosed on their home, and they were forced to move into a cramped apartment in a part of town Sarah had never even visited. The walls felt like they were closing in, and Sarah wondered if she'd ever find her way out of the darkness. Depression became Sarah's constant companion. She withdrew from friends and family, ashamed of her inability to keep her life together. Lily, once so full of life, began to struggle in school, her bright spirit dimmed by the shadow of their shared grief. Sarah felt like she was failing as a mother, as a person, and the guilt gnawed at her every waking moment. One night, the weight of it all became too much to bear. Sarah found herself standing on the edge of a cliff, the ocean roaring below. She felt the pull of the abyss, the promise of an end to the pain. But as she teetered on the brink, a single thought pierced the darkness. What would happen to Lily? That thought was enough to pull her back. Sarah stepped away from the edge, her heart pounding with a mix of fear and determination. She realized that she couldn't give up, not just for herself, but for Lily. The next morning, Sarah reached out to a local support group for widows and single mothers. Sitting in that circle of strangers, she found the courage to share her story. For the first time in months, she felt seen, understood. The women in the group became her lifeline, offering advice, encouragement, and a reminder that she wasn't alone. With their support, Sarah began to piece her life back together. She found a part-time job at a local bookstore, a quiet refuge where she could start to heal. Therapy became a regular part of her routine, helping her untangle the knots of grief and guilt. Slowly, she began to reconnect with Lily, finding small moments of joy in their shared laughter and rediscovered bond. One day, while volunteering at the community center, Sarah discovered a passion for interior design. She loved the way a well-designed space could transform not just a room, but a person's mood and outlook. She started taking online courses, juggling her studies with work and parenting. It wasn't easy, but for the first time in years, she felt a sense of purpose. Encouraged by her support group, Sarah took a leap of faith and started her own interior design business. She began small, taking on projects for friends and neighbors, but word of her talent spread quickly. Each success boosted her confidence, and soon she was transforming not just spaces, but lives. Years later, Sarah stood in the cozy home she and Lily now shared. The walls were adorned with photos of their journey, Mark's smiling face, Lily's school achievements, and the milestones of Sarah's business. As she looked around, Sarah felt a deep sense of gratitude. She had faced the abyss and emerged stronger. Her resilience a testament to the power of hope and the human spirit. Sarah's journey is a reminder that even in our darkest moments, there is always a glimmer of light. Her story is one of resilience, of finding strength in the face of adversity, and of the transformative power of community. It's a testament to the truth that No matter how far we fall, we can always rise again, if only we choose to never give up. If Sarah's story inspired you, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more uplifting tales of resilience, and share this with someone who needs a reminder to never give up. Your support helps us bring more stories like this to life. Together, we can spread hope and strength to those who need it most.